Why was Darth Vader so shocked about Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi? And how did the build of this saber, and more importantly, its coloration, hearken to Vader about a vision that he had had? A vision of the death of his son, and a vision of the death of himself. Today, we will take a look at one of my favorite moments in all of Star Wars, when Darth Vader ignites and examines Luke Skywalker's lightsaber on the forest moon of Endor, a quiet acknowledgement that his son's training is far along and that he is becoming a fully formed Jedi Knight. But there's a deeper layer to this moment, a story that adds a chilling weight to Vader's every action that follows. To truly understand the weight of this scene, we have to look at a powerful and pervasive piece of lore that has circulated for years, one often attributed to the Legends continuity. While its precise origin in a specific text is a matter of fan debate, the story itself offers a fascinating lens through which to view Vader's mindset. In this narrative, long before the final confrontation, Darth Vader was granted a powerful and deeply disturbing vision through the Force. This wasn't some vague premonition. It was a vivid, detailed, and horrifying glimpse into a potential future. In the vision, Vader saw his ultimate desire made real. He stood triumphant in his own castle on the world of June, the Emperor finally defeated. And at his side was not an enemy, but his son, Luke Skywalker. This was the fulfillment of the promise he made to Luke on Bespin. However, in a moment of shock, the specter of Darth Sidious appears. He unleashes a torrent of force power, igniting the entire castle in a wave of fire, the likes of which Vader has never seen before. The fire begins to consume Luke first. As his son cries out to him for help, Vader watches in horror, his suit offering little protection, as he too begins to succumb to the flames. Vader's final moments in the vision are watching his son burn, his screams, and the Emperor's triumphant laughter ringing in his ears. He awoke in his meditation chamber, not just startled, but deeply shaken. The vision was a clear and brutal warning. If he and Luke were to join forces and overthrow the Emperor, it would not lead to their reign, but to their mutual destruction at the hands of a triumphant Palpatine. Now, what exactly does this tell us? Well, it actually informs Vader's motivations in Return of the Jedi very much so. For any other person, a nightmare might be dismissed. But this was Anakin Skywalker, and Anakin had a long and tragic history with Force visions. The Force had granted him visions in the past, and all of these visions in themselves came true. Think back to Attack of the Clones, where he was haunted by visions of his mother, Shmi, suffering on Tatooine. He arrived only in time for her to die in his arms, a failure that ignited a rage that led to his first significant step toward the dark side. Years later, in Revenge of the Sith, he saw his wife, Padme, dying in childbirth. It was this vision that Chancellor Palpatine used to wedge open the cracks in his soul, and every choice Anakin made from that point on was driven by a desperate need to prevent it. In a cruel twist, his very actions brought about the tragedy he sought to avoid. So, because of this, Darth Vader was not willing to test fate this time, and was not willing to lose Luke. When he experienced this new vision of him and Luke being destroyed, it wasn't just a possibility, it was a prophecy. The idea of joining his son to kill his master was now inextricably linked, in his mind, to his son's fiery death. His options, as he saw them, were brutally simple. Either turn Luke to the dark side under the Emperor's watch, or destroy him. Any other path was the path from his nightmare. This brings us back to the moment when Darth Vader encounters Luke on the forest moon of Endor. As Luke stands before him, Vader's gaze falls upon two crucial details that snap the haunting memory of his vision into the present. The first is Luke's right hand. It is now a black cybernetic hand, eerily similar to his own. The vision had shown him this exact detail. Realizing that Luke's hand is identical to the vision he had, the first piece of the prophecy falls into place. Then Luke surrenders his lightsaber. Vader takes it, igniting the blade to examine it. And this is the second shock. The lightsaber that he sees and holds now within his hand is also identical to the vision, confirming to Vader the ultimate fate if he attempts to turn Luke, and together they destroy the Emperor. But Vader also notes the color of the lightsaber, which is something he never got a look at in the vision. Anakin's lightsaber was, of course, blue. And now, holding it within his hand, he saw an emerald blade. This subtly indicated into the very spirit of Darth Vader, reaching down to perhaps even Anakin, that Luke was different, and perhaps he could be better. The green lightsaber indicated a Jedi consular, a path often chosen by Jedi who have strong abilities in the Force, but do not seek combative practices. They are the scholars and thinkers of the Jedi Order. This indicated to Darth Vader that perhaps Luke was seeking more just ways in using the Force. His pride in his son's skill is now mixed with a profound dread. He states, "I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete." But beneath that is the terrifying thought. The vision is real, the pieces are in place, and the path they are on is leading directly to the fiery doom he witnessed. This fear follows Vader into the Emperor's throne room, and every moment is filtered through the lens of that horrifying vision. But what's beautiful about this moment, though, is why he ultimately decides to destroy the Emperor. The decision is not made because what he sees in Luke is different from the vision, but because it is the same. And he has been down this road before. When the Emperor unleashes Force lightning upon Luke, who cries out to his father for help, Vader hears the screams from his vision made real. The prophecy is happening, but this time is different. A reality that beautifully harkens back to Anakin Skywalker and the death of Padme. On Mustafar, Anakin was completely consumed with his newfound powers and put his own goals and ambitions above his wife. This was the mistake that Anakin made, and this is a mistake that Darth Vader would never make again. Realizing that if he acts selfishly, the Emperor will prevail, Vader makes his choice. He makes the commitment to himself that, unlike Anakin, Vader will save his family. It is this beautiful sacrifice to save his son, a moment where Darth Vader is no longer selfish. And by not being selfish, he literally spits in the face of the dark side itself and the Sith. In the end, it was Vader's love for his son and his family that screamed louder than his lust for power. The green lightsaber was both a terrifying omen and a symbol of his son's independent goodness. Fueled by that love, Vader chose to defy the prophecy, saving his son from the fate he had foreseen. A lovely culmination to the story of Anakin Skywalker. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this massive revelation for Darth Vader and how the similarities between his vision and Luke all culminated in him deciding to save his son above his own life? As always, thank you for joining me in this holocron. May the Force be with you, and I hope to see you in our next session.